Good morning, boys and girls. All right, we're back with rules. And where we were last, Catherine got a bunch of cards so she can write some more word cards for Jason. So here we go. The new rule: if you could only choose one, pick carefully. On Wednesday morning, the minivan is gone from the driveway next door. So I busy myself collecting words and phrases for Jason in the blank spaces of my sketchbook. Words from commercials, conversation, and books run through my doodles and across the backs of my drawings. The driveway remains empty until after dark. An hour before tea on Thursday, I lay my sketchbook open on my desk and flip the pages, hunting for the right words and phrases to put on Jason's card. Why not? He already has why, but why not is pushier, like why, with a fist on its hip. On my window, I see the minivan still parked next door. Why not? Because mom's calling clients and dad's at work, so David's my responsibility. That's why. Just for an hour, mom said, until we have to leave for OT. I put on a Thomas the Tank Engine video, so he shouldn't be any trouble. I pull forward two blank cards and scrawl, yeah, right, whatever. I know she needs me to babysit sometimes, but I hate when she tells me he shouldn't be any trouble. Trouble comes quick with David, and should doesn't have anything to do with it. He should remember to flush the toilet too, but that doesn't mean it happens. When mom had gone, I took my long mirror off my door and propped it at an angle against one corner in the living room so I could work at my desk and still see David reflected in the mirror. Every few words I made, I glance out my bedroom doorway to the mirror. David stands at the TV, the remote control in his hands. He loves rewinding the trains backward up the tracks and speeding them ahead to almost crashing over and over. I turn another sketchbook page and choose among the words written along the edge. Sure, you bet, excellent, perfect, frustrating, pretty, and dazzling. To jazz up and stretch the words Jason has in the bigger directions, and joke so he can be sarcastic if he wants. I peek toward the mirror. The TV train steams ahead, billowing smoke toward the shed. Watch out! David repeats, a perfect imitation of the narrator's voice. But the last second possible, before the smash, David hits pause. Jumping in front of the frozen TV picture, he waves the remote in circles like it's a magic wand. Watch out! On the next page, is my half finished portrait of Jason. I pick up a pencil and add the details I couldn't add in the waiting room: eyelashes, thick eyebrows, and the outline of his thin lips. Part of me wishes I could tear the picture out of my sketchbook and crumble it up into a tight ball so I don't hear his mother's scolding in my head when I see it. But the rest of me is bothered. That's it. Incomplete. Too much like a secret. Are you busy? A girl's voice asks. I drop my pencil and flash a look from my unmade bed to the folded clothes piled on my bureau. Cinnamon and Nutmeg crane their necks to week at mom and the girl from next door standing in my doorway. Oh my goodness, it's here. She's here. I saw Christy coming up the walk, mom says, smiling. Catherine, I have one more call to make. Could you keep an eye on David for a few more minutes? Then I'll take over. I promise. Before I can't get out, no, I see mom's legs in the mirror, hurrying back towards her office. David pushes rewind, and Thomas speeds backward again. Come in, I offer my chair, but Christy sits on the edge of my desk, crossing her feet at the ankles. Are you busy? She asks. No, seeing her up close. I know Christy will be popular, not only for her straight brown hair, parted off center, shining down to her elbows, or because she looks just right, even wearing frayed jean shorts and a t shirt. Christy radiates cool. And I know it as sure as I know David will stop that speeding train at the last second. Part of me feels sorry because she doesn't look like a flashlights and Morse code kid. But the other part of me is excited. I'm glad Mrs. Bauman sold you her house, I say. Well, I guess technically the realtor sold it, but I'm glad your family bought it because I've always thought it would be great if a kid lived next door. Mrs. Bowman was nice, but she was really, really old. I clamped my teeth together to keep anything else dumb from escaping my mouth. Christy drags the strand of hair between her fingers. I'm glad too. I was scared I'd have to start school next year without knowing anyone. My lips spread to a smile, imagining Melissa's surprise as I introduced Christy into our group. This is my friend Christy, I'll say. We hung out together all summer. I glance out my doorway to the living room. Where's David? Oh boy, here we go. Ryan said there's a bus stop at the end of the street. I lick my lips to keep from grimacing. At the corner. That's great, Christy continues to twist her strand of hair. I used to walk like 3 blocks to catch the bus, even when it was like freezing or raining. Mom say, take the umbrella, as though anyone carries an umbrella. David insists on bringing his bright red umbrella to school, even when it's cloudy. My mom's like that too. Next rule, leaving out isn't the same as lying. She'll always say, well, at least wear your hood, I continue, like I want hood hair. Christy smiles, like letting the twisted strand fall back on her arm. Ryan said he lets kids wait in his house when it's raining since he could see the bus come from there. But only if you're invited. I peek out the doorway into the empty living room. Part of me liked to tell Christy the truth, but I don't want our conversation to become about David. At the bus stop, I always tell him, you have your umbrella, grabbing the back of his jacket to keep him from following Ryan's group up the steps. Going inside is for kids without umbrellas. I would be honest, but David doesn't understand invited and not invited. He thinks everything is for everyone. Ryan's nice, Christy says. Don't you think so? Nice as a cockroach. Want some sherbet, I ask? When you want to get out of answering something, distract the questioner with another question. Good rule. Okay. What kind? Christy asks. Raspberry. David rushes through my doorway, his eyes fixed with panic, an audio cassette in hand. Fix it. The tape was pulled out of the cassette, hanging in a long, delicate loop. At first, I'm relieved that that's all that's wrong until my guinea pigs start to squeal. With the cassette over one ear and the hand shielding the other, David yells, quiet, pigs, quiet. Christy shoots a worried glance from David to the guinea pigs to me. I pry the cassette from David's fingers, knowing it'll be faster to deal with the tape than the tears filling his eyes. Don't worry, that'll take a minute. I spin the cassette around and around with my finger, wishing I had 2 more hands. One to give the guinea pigs hay to quiet them, another one to cover David's mouth when he shrieks. I spin the cassette so fast my finger keeps slipping out of the tiny hole. When the tape lies flat and tight, I slide Frog and Toad together into my cassette player and press play. Arnold LaBelle's deep voice joins the guinea pig squeals, and David's face lights up like Christmas morning, Halloween night, and his birthday, all rolled up into one. You fixed it! Go find Mom, I say, pressing the cassette into his hand, and tell her I'm done babysitting. Before I close the door, I peek in the living room to be sure David's heading towards Mom's office. He disappears down the hallway, swinging his arms. That must be hard, Christy says. Even regular little brothers are a pain. Regular snarls in my stomach. I grab my sticky notes and write, Dad, buy a new tape player, and stick it on the back of my door to remember to tell him again. To quiet my guinea pigs, I pull strings of Timothy hay from the little bale I keep under the cage. Nutmeg yips as Cinnamon steals her hay. They're so cute, Christy says. Can I hold them? Sure, I toss her a towel. Better put that on your lap in case they pee. I slide one hand under Nutmeg's chest and cup the back legs with my other. Cinnamon wecks until I sit next to Nutmeg on Christy's lap. And the squealing turns to happy pig cooing. Nutmeg, I thought I'd never see you again. Say, what are you eating? A towel, medium rare, and a hint of fabric softener. Care for a bite? Don't mind if I do. My door bursts open. No toys in the fish tank. I'll be right back, Christy says. I say to Christy between my clenched feet, no problem, clenched teeth. No problem, she says, stroking Nutmeg's neck. I close my door behind me so Christy won't see me run. Why? I sprint ahead of David. Why today? Because a tiny cowboy stands bow-legged at the gravel at the bottom of the fish tank, one hand poised to grab his pistol, the other holding the end of a lasso. A goldfish swims right through the hole. Get back here, you little perky, pesky varmint. Plunging my hand into the water, fish swoosh past my fingers. I rescue the cowboy and throw him in the toy box, grabbing David's wrist. I don't even wipe my hand first. What? David twisted to get away. You're not going to ruin this for me. I yank him along behind me down the hallway towards Mom's office. She's on the phone. All right then, Mom. All right then, Mom says into the receiver. I'll look forward to hearing from you next week. I have company, I say, not caring about interrupting her. And you need to watch David. Mom holds up one finger for me to wait. But I push David ahead of me into the room. His eyebrows come down. She grabs a puzzle from off the bookshelf and dumps the pieces on the floor. Yes, that'll be fine, she says into the phone. David sits beside the hill of pieces. He can't stand to see puzzles undone, but he insists on doing the pieces in lines like he's reading the puzzle. He doesn't look for all the red barn pieces or the daisies in the field. Left to right, top to bottom, that's his puzzle rule. And if you add a piece out of David's order, he'll take it back out, even if it fits. I slam Mom's office door on my way out. I come back to my room, breathless from running down the hallway. I notice Nutmeg and Cinnamon are in their cages again. Everything okay? Christy says. I hope you don't mind if I look at this. She's holding my sketchbook, open to a half-finished portrait of Jason. Is he your boyfriend? No, just a boy I started drawing. Christy tilts her head in an ooh, really feeling. If you want someone to think something's not important, use just a lot. He's just a boy I know. Well, I don't really know him, not very. I just see him. I check my watch. It's almost time to leave for OT. I can't tell Christy I have to go, not the first time we've met, but I told Jason I'd see him today. Christy tosses my sketchbook onto my desk. My hands itch to flip the page, but that'll bring attention to it. Want to watch TV? Christy asks. If I say no, maybe I won't get another chance to hang out with her. I glance to Thomas the Tank Engine, reflected in my mirror. His eyes close, braced for a crash that'll never happen. From somewhere, David shrieks. We could watch at my house, Christy says. That stings, even if I agree. Sure, I say. I'll tell my mom. All the way up Christy's walkway, I want to skip run or twirl with my arms way out like a 6-year-old. Feels deliciously easy to be visiting a friend's house without having to say first, sorry, David, this is for me. You can't come. Hearing Mom's car back out of the driveway, turned away. She waves, but David sits alone in the back seat, hands hunched down, his hands over his ears. I follow Christy up the steps and through her front door. And that leaves us with the next rule. At someone else's house, you have to follow their rules. So she's finally met Christy. All right. All right, boys and girls, have a wonderful day. Next week, I will have my next round of response questions. Have a great day.